Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I have another book diary and that is going to be for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So it's been a little bit of a hot minute since I've filmed a book diary, and by a hot minute it's been like a month since I finished filming my Throne of Glass one, Empire of Storms, no, Kingdom of Ash. You know what I mean. This is going to be, it's going to be a book diary like my traditional book diaries that I've been doing for the past year, but this is going to be a little bit different as it is forming a series, and the series is me rereading Harry Potter for the first time as an adult. Now I have spoken about this briefly on my channel, but my experiences of Harry Potter is that I read them, I think I started reading them in the same year that the 5th book, is that Order of the Phoenix, was released, and then I continued on with the last 3 books as they were released. I have never reread a Harry Potter book, and I think when the 5th book was released I was maybe 10, so since I was 12, 13 I have not read a Harry Potter book. So everything that I think I know about Harry Potter, and I'm like, I assume I know a lot about Harry Potter, but everything that I do know essentially has been reinforced by the movies. So even though it's not a conscious thing, to me the movies are canon and I do not remember what happens in the books. So I'm hoping this is going to be an interesting experience. As you can see, I'm holding up the illustrated edition. I was a little bit torn about which edition to read because originally I was only going to read these when they were all published, and I was going to do this reread in all of the normal books, but then seeing as it's taken me so long to finally reread Harry Potter, I can't guarantee that I'm going to pick it up again when all of the illustrated ones are published. So I'm taking part in the read along that's hosted by my best friend Ryan from Reading with Ryan. I will put a link to the announcement video up here if you would like to join us. We are reading the first 2 books, The Philosopher's Stone and The Chamber of Secrets, in January. Hopefully this will go up before the end of January, so there is still time for you to catch up if you would like to. And then every month following we will be reading the next book in the series, but as the first 2 are quite short, we're like bundling them together. Normally I start these with preconceptions going in, but I really don't have any because obviously I could tell you the plot of Harry Potter, but I don't know how it's going to differ. I'm most interested in capturing in these book diaries things that are different from the movies, things that take me by surprise because I treat the movies as canon. But I think that's all I have to get into before we kick this off, and I will check in with you when I've read a little bit of this. So I just finished chapter 1 and I did not realise that Sirius is mentioned in chapter 1, and it's such a casual reference that if you were reading these for the first time you wouldn't even think about who Sirius Black is until much later in the series, I assume, unless it's touched upon who Sirius is.
Book 3.
In this one. But I only remember him ever being mentioned or anything in book 3, but as I've obviously already said, I only know what happens in the movies, so he could be mentioned and explained earlier on, but I don't know. But that just like really shocked me because it's just like such a casual reference. I also forgot that the book doesn't start as the movie does, where they're just all stood outside at night time. Like, it introduces the Dursleys and Vernon is going to work and there's lots of strange things happening because everybody is celebrating the death of Voldemort. One thing that I did think strange is that when McGonagall finds out that James and Lily are dead, she's really upset, but like, I don't, like, who are James and Lily to Dumbledore and McGonagall? They're just students as far as I'm aware, just like most of the people in the Harry Potter world are just students to them, but she seemed like overly distraught, like she knew them more personally, and they were also like very sad to see Harry go, even though as far as I'm aware they don't really, he's just like a wizard kid. Like he did just take down Voldemort without even knowing, but like personally, on a personal level, he's just a wizard kid. So I just woke up, but I was up until 3 AM reading last night, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of the things I noticed that were different from the movies that I didn't realise were. The first thing is that when Hagrid goes to get Harry from the shack, and in the movies he walks in and originally he thinks that Dudley is Harry, and that doesn't happen in the books. He goes straight to Harry and knows who Harry is. And the most surprising one actually is that the cake that Hagrid gives Harry that says, oh look, you can see Rosie there, that says happy birthday Harry, is spelt correctly in the books. It's just in the films where it says happy birthday with an E on the end, Harry. And I found that really surprising. So I'm up to the bit now where they've just been to Diagon Alley, and when I was first reading it, like I'm enjoying it, but I'm not in love with it. But I did really like the Diagon Alley bits, they were really good. So now I'm just excited for him to get to Hogwarts. I'm around the part where he's about to get the Hogwarts Express. I'm on chapter 6. So he's just met Malfoy as well, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. So I'm on page 137 and Harry's just received his Nimbus 2000. It's the Nimbus 2000 at this point, right? I should know, I literally just read the page. But Malfoy has intercepted him and discovered that he's got a broomstick, and Professor Flitwick comes around the corner and Malfoy's like, oh, Professor, he has a broomstick. And Professor Flitwick says, yes, that's right. Professor McGonagall told me about it. McGonagall? I don't know if I can do it with this, but I'll show you. There we go. Professor McGonagall told him about it. So I'm up to chapter, I don't know what the number chapter is, but it's Nicholas Flamel, that chapter. Before, like a couple of chapters ago, Harry got the invisibility cloak as a gift, and I can't remember who sent it to him, but I do remember that the invisibility cloak is one of the Deathly Hallows, and I believe that the other two Deathly Hallows, like I know one is the Elder Wand, which is Dumbledore's wand. I think the third one is the Philosopher's Stone, okay? But here in the chapter on Nicholas Flamel, it says that he created the Philosopher's Stone, and Nicholas Flamel is 665, which could put him around the time the Deathly Hallows were created. But I thought that the Deathly Hallows were given to the three brothers by death. So even if Nicholas Flamel is old enough to put him in that time period, he can't have made it because it was a gift from death. So I don't know if the movies changed it. I don't know whether the story of the three brothers is just a story and it's not what actually happened, because I'm pretty sure that that was like an explanation of what the Deathly Hallows were. The story of the three brothers. And they encounter death and they all ask for a gift. One asks to be the most powerful wizard and gets the Elder Wand. One wants to live forever and gets the Philosopher's Stone. And the other one wants to hide from death and gets the invisibility cloak. So is this a plot hole? Is this the difference between book canon and movie canon? Are they both canon? Well, books are canon, obviously. I'm very confused right now. Hey guys, so I did just finish Harry Potter, and I think I'm gonna go with like the 4 stars I was gonna give it. I did not remember how many trials there are in between them passing Fluffy and finding Quirrell. If I remember rightly, although to be honest, the first 3 films are the ones that I've watched the least recently because I've seen them the most. So now if there's like a full run through on TV, I kind of just watch the last 4. Or is it 5? The last 5, there's 8 movies, right? But if I remember correctly, the keys, the flying keys aren't in there, and the potions aren't in there, and the knocked out troll is also not in there. And does Hermione, when does Hermione get left behind, or does she stay with Ron after the chess thing? But I forgot all about those, and they're my favourite parts of this book, like the trials, because it's kind of like a competition. Well, not like a competition, but like a series of challenges that they're completing, and I really, really liked that. What I will say was lacking in this is all of the clues are there for it to be Snape who is the one, like the bad guy in this book, and obviously it turns out to be Quirrell. And like the clues are there because like Snape's talking to Quirrell and it seems like Snape's intimidating Quirrell, but I feel like there weren't enough hints and there wasn't enough foreshadowing. Like, I'm not talking like major things or anything, but just like little things littered through so that when it came to the reveal and that it was Quirrell, Harry could be like, oh yeah, like this thing linked to Quirrell, not Snape. So I do feel like it lacked that, and I assumed going into this that reading it knowing that it was Quirrell, I would be able to pick up on little things that sort of made me realise that it was Quirrell all along, and also be able to see the ways in which J.K. Rowling misleads us. But there aren't clues, there aren't Easter eggs, there aren't hints. It literally is, oh my god, Snape is doing this. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, actually it's Professor Quirrell. And I would have just liked a little bit more hints, you know. I was going to give this a 3.5, but I did, like, when it gets to the end and Gryffindor wins the House Cup, I did tear up a little bit. Like, I nearly cried, even though I'm not a Gryffindor, I'm a Slytherin. And just, I don't know, it's just Harry Potter, you know, like it gets you in the feels. But I think that just about wraps it up for this book diary. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you've read this book. You probably have read this book, a lot of people have. Let me know your thoughts, if you agree with me on anything, if you disagree with me on anything, and please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.